The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Friday, the 10th day of January 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. She's Teray Tall, and Teo Dill will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. Teray, how are you?
Morning. I'm good. How are you?
You okay?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, I am. I thought you were trying to escape the show. I'm bringing you in. You're taking yourself out. I'm bringing you in. Like one person does that, sis. I'm got you. All right?
No, I'm worried. I was like, wait, am I on the stage?
Right? I'm bringing you. We're good. We're good. I'm bringing that to the air. Let people know, like, hey, we good. All right? So I'm like, is she not ready? Is she going? Like, nah, we're good.
I think I'm just paranoid. After seeing myself flash on screen the last time before we were live, I was like, wait, this is crazy.
I got you. But you feeling good? Like, I mean, look, I just saw one of the best articles written so far this year by Bermuda Youth Connect.
Really?
Yeah. And, I just hope it strikes the hearts of not just the politicians, but the people responsible for holding them accountable.
Yeah. Which article are you talking about?
Oh, thank you for asking. There was an article in the RG. That's where I believe I saw it. Some people sent it from Bernews. It's there too. Bermuda Youth Connect, and I think Bermuda's Love, and basically they were addressing the calling of the election and the youth vote, young vote.
Taj Donville Otterbridge.
Taj Donville Otterbridge. I'm sorry, Taj. I didn't want to get the second name wrong. And you've been on the show. You're absolutely brilliant person. I love the way Taj writes. It's a I'm taking no prisoners approach. Here's my concern, and I say it about what we discuss on this show often. The one thing I don't try to do when we have conversations on the Daily Hour is change your mind. I'm not here to try to tell you what to do, how to live, any of that. All I want you to do is think. Once you think, based on the conversations that we have, the information that is, we discuss, you may feel differently and you may act differently. My hope is that anyone who reads that article, just think. Consider what is being said in the article. If you don't feel differently after, fair enough. But give yourself a chance to read it, digest it, and understand the perspective of a group that feels disenfranchised, forgotten, disrespected. That's all I'm asking every and anyone to do. That's it.
Yeah, and I can add that there were a lot of young people and groups who reached out to us after, and they're like, I would have loved to sign on, or, I wish I knew this was happening. So that shows that there's clearly a sentiment of feeling disenfranchised. We just had to act very quickly. So we couldn't reach out to like a lot of people. We just reached out to the people who are like closest to us, like our partners. But make no mistake, just because Bermuda is Love, Bermuda Youth Connect, and Taj Donville Otterbridge are their only signatories, there's a lot of young people who are also in consensus.
Impressive, and keep up the great work, everyone. Keep going. All righty. Well, hey, Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today. It's Friday Fun Day, brought to you by our friends at Mailboxes. Don't forget, if you don't have it already, go to mailboxes.bm/the daily hour. You will receive 2 free years of Mailboxes membership. Today, for Friday Fun Day, we're going to be discussing what all of us, can do to improve Bermuda in 2025. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. So let's jump right to well, first off, we got to speak to some people. David Michael Wilson, he says, fantastic Friday, TDH fam and crew, and a fantastic Friday to you, David Michael Wilson.
Morning.
We've got Charles H. Jefferson II. He says, morning to Ray. Well, he's shouting at you and Janelle. Why is he
Well, I was a bit annoyed at him last night, so I think maybe he's come with an apologetic tone.
Oh, okay. Well, Charles H. Jefferson II, he goes on to say, and a lot of older people who agree with the youth of Bermuda on this issue. Indeed, and I'm happy because, as I said the other day, young people, you may not be able to vote because you might be overseas studying or doing some work experience, whatever it is. Please get your elders to represent you at the polls. They can vote for you. I'm saying they can't vote for themselves and you like 2 different times. What I'm simply saying, conscience-wise, talk to them, get them feel you. First Friday Fun Day for TDH, Karen Simmons.
Oh yeah,
it is first
of
Friday.
2025.
Yeah, and then Suzanne Ingham says, awesome freezing Friday, Jamal Torrey, and stay warm. Well, it's snowing outside and here in Atlanta. If you're on my WhatsApp status, go check my WhatsApp. Your boy, man, I thought it was rain. Because remember, I haven't lived in the Northeast in 8 years. Probably, 7, 8 years. Anyway, folks, I look out, it's snowing. Go check my WhatsApp status if you're privileged, to be on it. But go check it out. It's snowing, and Shana Smith says it's snowing. I know you ain't leaving. That ain't the plan. See, here's the great thing. Beneath my building, there's a grocery store. But Sherry says yesterday to me, Jamal, get what you need now. She's so grumpy, but she get what you need now because just because the grocery store's there, the people that have to work there may not be able to get to it because if you know anything about Atlanta, if it snows, it really can't be where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, Sherry's absolutely right, to be honest. Like, you should have been prepared for it, especially because Atlanta has been gearing up for snow for the past week. Like, I follow this TikTok creator and they live in Atlanta, and they're like, it's about to start snowing in Atlanta. And also Dallas is about to start getting some freeze.
Oh, Dallas looks like somewhere in Montana right now.
See?
Yeah.
You should have been on your Zoom.
Yeah. Hey, whatever. But it was hailing in Bermuda apparently last night. It was hailing in Bermuda. Some people, St. Davis is considered Bermuda according to John Woolridge yesterday. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. So yes, St. Davis. Well, let's get into today's Friday Fun Day question, folks. Look, we're having some fun. Let's have some fun with this morning. We've been very heavy to start the year. Do us a favor before we jump into the conversation. Give us a like, a love, a follow. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Question of the morning is, what are some things we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025? When I say what are some things we can do, meaning Teray, Jamel, Charles, David Michael Wilson, Shana Smith, Suzanne Ingham, Karen Simmons,
Sherry Vanderpool.
I finally listened to her.
Good, Sherry.
Yeah,
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, whatever. See, we've got another person in Atlanta. Joanne Trott says, snowing here in Atlanta. Yes, it is. I'm glad for remote working. I wonder, is it snowing over where you are, Sherry? But Sherry's all right. Suzanne, she's all right. She's okay. She's all right. Anyway, let's discuss it, folks. What are some things we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025? Like, what are some top things? Think of, let's set a target. Like, what are some things that come to mind that you say, you know what, as Bermudians, we can possibly do this better? Can I go first?
Of course. You're so excited. Of course. How can I say no?
I usually ask everyone else, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go first. Let me get it started. All right. So when I think of Bermuda and things we can improve on Teray and audience, the first thing I think is something that I really appreciated that I feel like even I've lost because I've been out of Bermuda so long, but something that can improve Bermuda
Mm-hmm.
is the way we engage. And
Tell
what
me
do we,
more.
and people may think, oh, that's minimal. How that's going to improve the way we eat and live and or education? How we treat one another, how we treat one another impacts greatly on everything else and how we engage. And what I mean by that, I grew up in a Bermuda where it was so normal to speak to people you didn't know. Morning, hey, how you doing? People ask, hey, young man, tie your shoelaces, this and that. I grew up in a Bermuda where it was okay for the neighbor to discipline me or tell me, hey, look, and the discipline wasn't spanks. Obviously, no, they wouldn't do that. No, but say, hey, no, don't do that. Pick that up off the street. And it was okay. I've actually seen incidents now where it's like, don't tell, you're not my, parent, this and that. And then the parents say, hey, don't talk to my child like that. I think if we start there, that can be an improvement. Show love to one another. Get back to that. Mr. Woolridge said it yesterday.
Yeah.
Get to know the children in your neighborhood, right? We're not outside. That to me can be a catalyst for serious change because it creates a sense of community. That's one thing right there for me. I believe that we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025. I do. It may seem minimal, right? But
it doesn't seem minimal to me. It reminds me of the saying, it takes a village. But I think in that, like, the way that we treat others is often reflective of the way that we feel within ourselves. So I feel like when people are dealing with turmoil and dealing with stress, it's difficult to even feel like you're a part of a village, let alone contribute and enhance that village in some way. So it doesn't seem minimal. And you're right, it has to be a deliberate effort to get back to the Bermuda that you speak of. And I vaguely remember. So how do you think we can get there? Like, how do we think we can improve our engagement with others?
I think it starts with each and every one making conscious decisions to want a Bermuda that they once loved. That's something that you can't get from a government, right? I once said when I was coaching youth football, we had this young kid on our team he was unbelievably good. I mean, we're talking 9-10 years old. And I said one time, he scored this goal, an unbelievable goal. I said, that's not because of me. I can't teach that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, talent.
That some just have an ability like that you can't teach. It's like gifted students, right? Like, yeah, teachers can take a lot of praise, but some children are like just maybe they started reading at 2 years old, like Teo, or 1, whatever it was.
Oh my God, Teo, I did too.
See,
Wait, I didn't know that Teo started reading at 2.
I'm surrounded by nerds, folks, honestly. But that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying nerds in a derogatory way. Seriously, I'm not.
I didn't take it in a derogatory way. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not. These are some brilliant people. That's why I love engaging with them. Until they, come up with, their politics and we start
to become after you. That's when you're like, wait now.
Hey, turn it down now. And then I start, talking about their height jokes and all that. But no, seriously, Tere, I think we have to take responsibility for that. We have to be the ones who want it. Let's go to the audience real quickly. What are some things we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025? David Michael Wilson says, keep our manners in everyday speech speaking. Again, that's part of it, right?
That's really big. And Joel, I was in the top 2% of listeners in Spotify last year. And I said, okay, something's got to change. So now when I leave the house, I'm not really taking my headphones.
Wow. Well, Teo used to have this strategy back in the day. He'd leave the radio station and walk through town. And Teo, he'll probably dispute this when he comes on. But I swear Teo would hold his phone to his ear just to talk to people. Honestly.
That's my thing. I'm like, headphones on, conversation off. But I've always lived in like a city, and now that I'm like a very small town, I still feel like I have that kind of city callousness to me, which is good in my predicament for like safety or whatever. But I've made like a conscious effort to not take my headphones with me outside of the house unless I like really need it.
But you know what, Tere? Remember what I said the other day regarding the daily hour is our hope to be more seen in the community this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the improvements in 2025. It's like, I say every day, growing beyond the mic, and you may see us, but we have to be more visible. We have to make people believers in the words that we speak, right? And I think being present, supporting some of the causes that we discuss, whether that's us showing up with Bermuda is Love in some respects, it could be us like doing KBB again, it could be us working with Bermuda Cancer and Health, but to be more present and ensure that we're not just here to entertain and talk, but we're here to actually do the work that needs to be done. So that's another thing like we can all do. You just kind of said it, being more present. That's something we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025. I think Maya or you said it this week. Someone said it on this show. It made me think of something else where someone said last year on social media, Bermudians love to gossip, but we don't like to talk, in reference to like when the police need witnesses for crimes and so on. Like we had quite a few murders between May 24th and Cop Match. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've had one person charged for any of those. I was told something as a child, and this was around the time the Oklahoma bombing happened, Timothy McVeigh and others. And I said, well, how would they ever catch the people? And I'll never forget someone saying to me, someone always knows who did it. There's something that's lost in our community amongst us. I don't know if it's fear. I don't know if it is bias and protection, but something has been lost where we are more interested in protecting people we love. I'm not going to say criminals, people we love, over doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the audience. We've got Sheldon Fox says, engage with the young people in your neighborhood. Yes, like what Mr. Woolridge said yesterday, right? Engage with them. That can help improve Bermuda. Trust me. I think, again, we can talk about things government needs to do, like tourism, education, health, but there are things we can do. Let's talk about health. There are changes we can make to health, right? Because they say that health
is wealth.
Yeah, and health costs rise because of unhealthy populations, right?
Yeah.
So other things we can do to address that. We know there was a report recently, last week in the U.S. about how alcohol is a trigger for
cancer. Yeah.
Well, in Bermuda, I'm pretty sure we have a very high rate of cancer, right? In Bermuda, you all have heard the song, Bermudians love to drink. You all saw the results of what the police statistics showed about people driving under the influence.
Yeah.
Folks, what are some things we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025? Probably consume less alcoholic beverages.
And move our bodies more, go for a walk. Like, we're so blessed to live in Bermuda. Like, sometimes when I think about what I miss the most about living in Bermuda full time is going for walks in light greenery. Like, it just does so much for your well-being. But yeah, also ask yourself, why are you drinking? Like, I think that's why I stopped drinking, because I was like, why am I drinking? I don't like the taste. I like the feeling, and you can get the feeling from other things.
Oh, you don't drink?
I don't drink.
Oh, congratulations. Well, I didn't say that to be judgmental. I just didn't. And it's maybe it's a generation in my head thinking, oh, she's young, she's in college, she probably has a little wine glass or something.
I went to one frat party in college and I left 10 minutes in. I was like, this is not my vibe. This is not the vibe at all.
Okay.
And since then, I was just like, why am I drinking? And I think I just got curious about that, started unpacking, and then I was like, this is not the vibe. I mean, it depends on the situation. Like, for example, I was in Mexico in June, and there was a local man there, and he literally made his own tequila, and it was like homegrown. And that was the time I was like, okay, like, I'll try this because of the context. I would never be in Mexico under these circumstances again. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. So it's not like a rigid rule. Like
Mhm.
if something extraordinary happens, I'd be like, okay, yeah, but I'm not having casual drinks. I don't drink at parties. I'm not like
Mhm.
not my vibe.
No, congratulations on that. I'm serious about it. But let's bring Teo Dillon for the Daily Hour Newsbreak. Audience, keep your comments coming. We're gonna keep going with this conversation. What are some things we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025? I want to see what Teo thinks as well. And make him explain whether or not he was really on the phone back in the day when
With his flip phone, or was it a flip?
Oh, it was a flip. It was a flip. Oh, definitely. All right, stick with us, audience. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, one of y'all.
All
right. Here's what I really want you to know about the phone thing. This is where you messed up. You presume that it's something I would be ashamed of. Because you, of course, I was all the time. But I had a very good reason, I think.
Okay, what was the reason?
Because of the space that we were in then, and to rate it, it may be hard for you to appreciate that I mean this. Like we were popping for a minute. Like
really?
No, for real. Like for real, it was a thing. Like I at that time I literally signed autographs. Like it doesn't even sound like it makes sense, right? But it was that kind of thing.
It does make sense because when I first came on the show, I heard your voice and I was like, I've heard this voice before. And I remember on the car rides to school, you were in my ear. So
I was in a lot of people's lives.
Keep in mind, back then, it was still radio. Like Facebook was new. Like there was no so you still just heard the voice. And so if you got to, oh, that's Teo Dillon. Look, I don't say this to because he's my boy or because this is what we're doing together. But Teo was the last big thing on radio. Now you
hey.
DJs you see at parties, it's not the same, right? Back then, it was still personality. People that like the captain back in the day, like it was. You're getting to see this person in town in person. The captain, the only way to see him back in the day was if you went on the golf course, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he managed it really similarly because like there's only the thing was. The relationship was imbalanced, and I'm not saying that I regret this. It was a really wonderful outcome. It meant we were meeting our goals, but the relationship was imbalanced in that I was in people's lives every day, where it felt like to them we were really good friends because we spent a couple hours together every day, but I was just by myself, right? Like I wasn't spending time with them individually. So when they saw me, it was like, oh, that's my man. Hey, let me catch you up on what's going on with me.
Yes! Like when I have the long coming. Now the man's on a mission. And especially when you were senators, you had to get to places on time and so on. And Teo was like, okay, I'm gonna walk through town like we're on the phone because everyone wants to have a conversation and I just don't have the time.
So question 2, were you talking to yourself while you were pretending to be on the phone?
Sometimes, yeah.
I see it. I can
Sometimes,
see it.
Yeah. Most of the time, I would like do the nods and like,
So hold on. Can I ask the question to the audience while you do the news? Audience, have you ever pretended to be on the phone to avoid people in public? Yes.
Oh, 1,000. Everybody's done this at least a couple of times.
Teresa,
yes, man.
Teresa.
Yes, but also I have.
Teresa's probably like, what does he want? Oh no!
No. Actually, don't interrupt me when my music is playing. That's the problem.
You know what's crazy? It's like when I used to work in an office with people. My headphones would be on, no music sometimes, right? And I'm like, that's the curse. They're like, leave me alone.
Exactly.
Like I'm not interested. It's this one old lady. Ethel, I think.
Oh no! Come on, Mal.
It was Mary Beth or something like that. But anyway, she would continuously come over, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, no, I ain't living it nothing." I'm just like, I don't feel like hearing about like the person that cut you off this morning on the way to work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, the audience is answering really quickly. Have you ever pretended to be on the phone before to avoid talking to people in public? Karen Simmons said no.
Oh, you're a gen. You are a gen.
100% yes.
You know what? I believe Aunt Karen. Yeah, she's a better person than all of us.
Yeah. Mariella Jones says yes. I don't believe Charles Jefferson.
I don't believe him
I
either.
don't believe Charles, especially when he was CEO of Bermuda Tourism. I guarantee you he couldn't walk down. Tourism this, tourism, because everyone's a tourism expert in Bermuda. I don't believe you, Charles. And no,
I wouldn't believe Charles before last night, but after last night, I don't believe him.
Teo, go do your news, mate. You gotta do your news. Audience, we're gonna continue this. We're gonna continue this.
Well, the big news that we got yesterday is that Sir John Swan is heading back to Smiths North as an independent candidate in next month's general election. Despite losing last May's by-election narrowly, we must say, to the OBA's Robert King, he confirmed as much at a press event yesterday afternoon, live streamed by our friends at Burn News, where he explained why he's trying to win constituency 10 once again.
The people in Smiths North realize the fact that this is not about party politics. This is not about John Swan. This is about Bermuda. This is about its people and some of the things that need to be done to rectify what I consider to be not only a local problem, but an international problem as to how the world sees us. We can't do it by ourselves anymore.
Anybody surprised?
Do you think he has a shot in a general election of winning?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I thought he was going to pull the by-election, and he almost did. He only lost by 25 votes, I think.
Mm-hmm. It was close.
And he cannibalized like both other parties' votes in a meaningful way. But in a general, people are thinking more about the formation of a government rather than making a statement. However, people are fed up, like across the world. Incumbent governments, the establishment is what people hate the most of all. And even though he's Sir John Swan, the longest serving premier in our history, at this moment, he represents an anti-establishment figure. So on that basis, maybe.
Do you think he has a chance of winning?
I think he has a chance at winning because of that very reason. Like, incumbents are being punished all over and people are looking for change. What Teo said about people looking to form a government, I think that would be like a strategic vote. But I don't know if people are resorting to tools right now. I think they're looking at the roads, looking at their pockets, and thinking something's got to shake. Okay. So let's see.
Audience, do you think Sir John Swan stands a chance of winning constituency 10 this time around in the general election? I actually, word for word, would have said what Teo said in this respect. I think the by-election, he stood a better chance. In a general election of this magnitude, I even think Mark being, if the FDM doesn't have a full slate, those votes might go to the OBA simply because people are looking for the government. So that's just my personal opinion based on the general election. I think if people are voting this time, it's like they want people who are going to form a government more than anything. So, Teo, I'm on board with you.
Yeah. Now, Sir Johnny made the announcement at the rollout of another independent candidate, kind of stepping on her toes a little bit, but she was fine with it. Namely, Susie Aruda, who confirmed that she's going to be running as an independent in Pembroke West constituency 19, a seat currently held by the PLP's Jashay Adams. He's been in there since 2020. Now, it's a former OBA/UBP safe seat. They held it from 2003 for 17 years, and then Jashay was able to pull it off in 2020. So Ms. Aruda shared that the biggest problem in Bermuda, in her view, is that too many people feel invisible because they're treated like they just don't matter by elected officials.
Politicians, they're not listening. They say that they're listening, but they're really not listening to the people. And I think that's the major thing. If we can get over the hurdle of just listening to people, you can get over a lot of the problems. Politicians, I think people have lost confidence in them because they're just not listening. You see some politicians on the street, let's be honest, then you say good morning to them and they walk right past you like they didn't even see you. People want to be seen, people want to be heard, people want to know that they matter.
You know what's crazy? That's the first thing we touched on this morning.
I know.
I hadn't seen that. Audience, had you seen that, Teray? No. I hadn't seen it. But
that's why I never ran for parliament because I couldn't.
You can't talk right now.
I'd had to cut all that off. But to be real with you, I think I probably would have under those circumstances because my obligations would have been different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It would have been genuinely irresponsible to keep doing that under those circumstances. Let
me add this real quickly. Whether you like them or not, the two most expert politicians I've ever met in Bermuda, Sir John, Wayne Furbett, and Michael Dunkley. These three men will kiss your baby, push your grandmother up in a wheelchair. These three men no one has done politics in my lifetime that I've seen than those three when it comes to what she just explained.
Like the personal politics, like face to face retail politics. Them dudes were just different. Like just on a whole other level. And it's like kind of like what you were talking about in the beginning, Jay, with some stuff you can't teach and you can't fake. Like, and what it comes down to, and this might sound a little messed up, but I think like a whole bunch of politicians don't really like people, you know?
They don't.
But and it's not like a bad thing. Like most of us don't like at least some groups of people for some reasons.
Yeah.
But there are certain unique unicorn figures that are genuinely just interested in being friends with like everybody.
Yeah.
And they tend to be really good at getting elected for that reason. Because everybody, even if they're part of something that they don't really agree with, even if they make decisions that their constituents don't like, that's like, that's my man. Like, I know him. So, all right, I'll forgive him, you know, or I'm going to tell him what I think when I see him, and he's going to hear me. Yeah. And not everybody sort of has that gland.
Yeah.
But the ones that do, you can tell at a glance.
I'd agree.
Yep.
Now, there was one really, really, really cool thing that I want to give a huge shout out to Miss Aruda for. She honored her Azorian heritage at her rollout by delivering part of her statement in Portuguese. And she freestyled it. She wasn't reading off a piece of paper. So that's how you know it's real. And I felt deeply, deeply embarrassed, not just for myself, but for the broader country, that most of us had no idea what she said. Right?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's honestly, it's disgusting. Like the Azorian population has been here for like centuries plus, right? And why can most of us not speak Portuguese? Yeah. It's gross. Like a significant portion of our neighbors have this is their national language. This is the way that they speak. And we can't talk to them. It doesn't make any sense. So what I wanted to ask y'all was cool. I clipped part of her statement so I could run it for the audience. So if we have anybody that speaks Portuguese, y'all could tell us what she said, because I really want to know, because the rest of her statement was great.
Where's our Portuguese audience at? Let's play the clip. Somebody's gonna be out there.
Now, let me just say, because I don't speak Portuguese, I'm not sure if I clipped it at like a sensible place.
I hope there's no cuss words.
No. Like she said, where I cut it is where it was pretty clear she finished a sentence, but where I ended it, I just don't know. So I hope it's cool. I apologize, Mr. Ruda, in advance. It's my fault, not you.
Para aqueles que não me conhecem, os meus pais vieram de Açores, São Miguel, como jovens, com a sua família, à busca de uma vida melhor. Eu tenho como candidato independente porque quero uma comunidade que é vista, que é revista, e que a gente precisa de líderes hoje em dia, que ouçam as pessoas, que agem e que ponham as pessoas antes dos partidos políticos.
Man, you know what that made me think of? What's his name? Beto in Texas? Beto?
Oh, Beto O'Rourke, when he ripped off Spanish in the Democratic primaries, and then everyone looked at him like, that was my joke, you know, that was my thing. Why are you doing it first?
No, and he did it much more effectively than the typical Democratic politician. That was smooth.
Yeah, but
especially last name O'Rourke, right? Like that was even iller.
They're like, this is a white guy. This is not a white Spanish guy. This is like white, and he's just broke out in Spanish, and that's what that gave me. But hers, in respect, no disrespect to Beto O'Rourke, that actually seems so sincere. If you look at her facial, her posture and everything, it seems so sincere that I don't know what she said, but she got me.
You feel it anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah, you feel it.
But I'm so grateful for her doing that. Like we have not, I think, a non-representative number of people of Portuguese descent in elected politics in Bermuda, but I can't remember anybody ever doing that. Yeah. To be real with you, and no disrespect if people have done it in the past, but I don't remember this, and it's so cool. Like,
it is. And
anyway,
Suzanne Ingham says what she said in English, she repeated it in Portuguese.
Did she?
So,
Suzanne, are you sure?
Hey, I wouldn't doubt Suzanne Ingham. I trust her. Suzanne, I trust you.
Okay, no, I mean that I feel goofy that I missed that, but yeah, like that, it was just incredibly cool.
Okay. All right.
All right. So
Hold on. Sean Smith, who told us earlier this week that he lives in Porto, Portugal, he actually said she recapped what she said in English and where her family from, what I was able to hear. So, Suzanne, I love you.
Well done.
Suzanne, I'm with you. I'm with you,
well
and
done.
you can tell.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Thank you. Now, in completely changing the subject in a kind of negative way, Customs and the BPS found 700 grand worth of suspected drugs in the luggage of a 47-year-old Bermudian man returning to the island. The seizure and arrest went down last Friday just after 3 p.m. when Customs found the contraband and the police were called. BPS Drugs Unit Inspector Nadal Barker thanked their partners at HM Bermuda Customs for helping prevent the items from hitting the streets where they could have posed a serious threat to the safety and well-being of members of our community.
Here's the thing. It was shared in one of my chat groups yesterday, and one of my boys, one of Taylor's former classmates at Work Academy, he says, in 2025, people still try to smuggle drugs through their luggage. And I was just like, man, I actually thought the same thing. I was like, with all this technology at airports, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, that's not my life.
No, Jay. This is so convenient because I that's the exact thought I had, right? Because it felt to me like trying to get drugs through your luggage just seems a little like lazy at the very least. Right? Like if you try to get them things in, there's got to be a better way, right? Now, just to get heavy again, some smugglers take their methods of concealing that cargo to a whole other level, like forcing victims at gunpoint to get elective surgery type level. Check this out.
Young woman's life may have been saved thanks to her arrest. Get this. The Daily Mail headline reads, drugs mule busted at Spanish airport after having 2 bags of cocaine implanted inside her breasts. The Daily Mail photo shows the burst bag of coke after they were removed from the woman's breasts. The Daily Mail reports the 28-year-old Panamanian woman was trying to smuggle almost 2 kilos of coke into Spain. She was stopped at Barcelona's El Prat airport. Now, the Telegraph is reporting the woman told police drug smugglers forced her to undergo that surgery. An airport worker saw a blood-soaked bandage on the woman's chest. Officials checked it out, and the woman reportedly fessed up to it. She was rushed to a local hospital where doctors say she was in pretty bad shape.
Oh, man. Ooh.
That's wild.
Yeah, very disturbing.
Wow. I mean, I what's that show? My dad used to watch it. Smugglers Abroad or something. It comes on one day. I saw him watching it one day. He was visiting me, and I'm just like, no, bro. Nah. Seriously, like that's insane. That poor woman. And I know people say, no, she's guilty. No, you don't know.
No, you don't know. And also, you don't know what circumstances that will lead you to that situation. So never think, oh, it couldn't be me. I'm just glad that she's okay.
I mean, if folks just think about every single human being that they've ever interacted with, who's going to voluntarily do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Really, no matter how much money, and it burst in her, the cocaine in her butt, like, she'd died.
Yeah.
It's inconceivable that she would have said, "Oh yeah, this is a good idea. I'm a volunteer for this one." You know,
man, it's very sickening.
That's insane.
Well, weather-wise, this weekend should warm up a bit. Thank goodness. The temps are slowly going to climb from the mid-50s to low 60s, rather than last night's what felt like 42 degrees on the real feel index from AccuWeather. I'm telling you, Jay. Like I know you got snow. But it's a different kind of thing. Last night, it's a different kind of thing, bro. Like I was wearing socks on purpose in the house
all the time. Stop thinking Bermudians are just saying it's cold. It's free. Go there in those damn homes. You'll feel it. Go ahead.
Most of the next couple of days it should have a live gale force warning. So conditions will remain dominated by strong winds and heavy rain between now and next week. But by Monday, the winds look like they should calm down. The sun should come back. It's still going to be chilly, but not like it's been for the past few days.
All right. See what you got for days of the year.
Well, this one I think you're both going to appreciate. Today is Peculiar People Day. So So Peculiar People Day came about as a way to resist the pressures to fit in. It reminds us that our quirks and eccentricities make us special, truly special. So do you guys have a peculiar person that immediately came to mind, aside from yourself, Jamal? You were like, I'm a peculiar person.
No,
anyone else?
No. don't think less of me. But I was trying to get with a young lady when I was in college, and she was like, "You're a peculiar individual," and I was so offended, right? But she's like, "No, I just mean that." She's like, "No, you absolutely are different from most guys, and I like the way you approach conversations and situations. It's not the norm and so on." So I felt a bit better after that, but I never got the opportunity of like a second date or anything.
Okay,
No, I
so she just left you with that. You're peculiar. Bye.
Yeah.
Actually, that makes it kind of feel like it was a diss.
Yeah.
To be real with you.
Yeah.
But I have a bunch of weird people in my life, and I adore them specifically because of the weirdness. But what I wish I would have realized as a younger person, when I was young, when people would call me odd, like whatever, just like abnormal, it used to upset me. Like you want to fit in more cleanly. You want to be closer to whatever the status quo is. But in my late 20s forward, I'm grateful that I'm weird. Like it means, like, seriously, like it genuinely brings me joy, because what it means is I'm like, I know stuff that other people don't know, which means that I can tell other people things that they don't know. But I can always be of value if folks are open to it. Being unique is like has all upside, like very little downside.
The person I think was peculiar. I'm gonna say Lamont Marshall, Larry's brother. The way he had his own fashion and style, man. In that respect, he was very like he was a risk taker in fashion, and that people loved it. So I would think he was probably one of the most peculiar people we knew as a young person. He was one that, like, I wear a lot of pink, but Lamont was wearing pink way before like it was cool as a young man. Like, and he just didn't.
Hey, go Lamont!
Back then, so he I remember I think he sprayed his bike pink, if I'm not mistaken. Not even I did that. So, but yeah, he would probably be. And the thing is, in a normal conversation, you wouldn't even think a person like him, right?
Yeah. I like that though, because I feel like it takes a level of confidence to do something like that. So peculiar people with like oddities, eccentricities. I think it was a compliment, Jamal, that the girl gave you. So don't feel dissed. But yeah, no, I think
you were probably just too short. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. I'll tell you that right now.
Teray, you teed that up perfectly.
You know what? Just for that, I'm giving you a joke before Teo goes. Here we go. The audience wants a joke. Here we go.
I suppose I deserve it.
All right.
Jamal, make it a good one, please. Por favor. Make it a good one.
Okay. Here we go.
I think you may be asking for too much.
It means please. Here we go. All right. Here's your joke of the day, folks. When does a joke become a dad joke?
When does a joke become a dad joke?
When it's in one of the books that you refer to when you do the joke of the day.
When it becomes apparent.
Okay. All right, I like that.
Don't affirm this, Teray. Don't gas him.
I like that one. When it becomes apparent.
Give it to me, boy.
Say you I'm impressed. He's smiling. I see the cheeks. He's smiling.
Look at it. I got him. I ain't getting no haters in the audience today.
No, you ate that one. You ate that
Not one hater. Maya, you better clip that, Maya. Oh, really? I got a hater when Jamal tells it.
When Jamal tells it. LOL. I like that one too.
No, that one was way better. That was really good.
Yeah,
that was good.
Please let. Hopefully, we share it on social media. Teo's 1-year-old daughter is stronger than him, audience.
Very strong.
I hope he allows us to share these clips because she is the most adorable. Please let the strongest. No, I can't say that. You've got other people in the house. Sorry. I was going to say the strongest 1-year-old we know in your house. Yes, let me not get in trouble with your wife. When I come over,
she's pretty muscly. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But please let the strongest 1-year-old we know know we said hello. All right.
Yes. And that we love her name. I really love her name. Emery is a beautiful name.
Emery is.
Yeah. No, I'm super proud of it.
I'm trying to give her name to the public.
Wait, you named her, Teo?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. One of my
Oh,
really
that's
good friends
shocking.
did.
Don't you dare take credit for something you ain't do.
Well, no. Like I got the source. She was the name plug, because she's named, I think, like 4 children, because she's just really good at picking names. My homegirl. Yeah, shout out to
I
Cree.
really
She
like
did
that.
it.
All right, Cree. Hey, holla at you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, man. Y'all too. Take care.
Appreciate it. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in. Oops, I think we.
Oh, you want to boot me?
We're going to take a quick break. Be back in about 2 minutes, 58 seconds. We've got a bit more of show to go. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses. Whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment, we provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazok Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Live exceptionally with HSBC MasterCard Pay with Rewards. Transform your points into what you love and get closer to winning an unforgettable trip to Dubai or one of 3 luxury experiences in Bermuda. To start following these steps, download the Pay and Rewards app from the App Store or Google Play. Register your HSBC MasterCard credit card in the app. Set your preferences to use points automatically or for your next purchase. Use your HSBC MasterCard for every purchase and redeem your points into rewards. In addition, for every $300 spent with your HSBC MasterCard, earn a chance to win an incredible monthly experience. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Today, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Real quickly, yesterday, I just wanted to correct a statement I made. So I went to Ray, Maya and I were talking. I stated that to the effect, I don't remember exactly, but it was to the effect that politicians don't care about you. They only care about getting reelected. What I should have said is most or some politicians, because it is a generalization. So I definitely stand by that comment with that edit, that most politicians don't seem to care about the electorate. They care more about getting reelected. However, there are some who genuinely do care about the people. And they get in and they do the work. So I just wanted to clarify that. But before we let's get back to the conversation this morning. We were having a conversation. We asked, what are some things that we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025? It's Friday Fun Day, brought to you by our friends at Mailboxes, by the way. But also, are you optimistic about Bermuda being your version of successful in 2025? Now, the key is your version of successful. That can mean different things. You can explain what your version of successful is. Teray, I'd love to hear what your version of successful is. I may have my version of success, but what is, and let's read these comments real quickly that came through earlier about what are some things we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025. Manuela John said earlier, be open to communication and encourage respectful conversations. There are people who we may be surprised by. Yep, indeed. We had J Dog. He said, introduce ourselves to our neighbors. Yeah, that's something I don't do in the US. That's something
kind of different though, you know what I mean?
Something that's normal in small towns, and Bermuda's a small town, right?
Yeah.
Suzanne Ingham said, yes, always some news who did it. You're right. And she was talking about the news at the time. But also, she said, and this comes down to the election, and it is on us. She said, improvement. We desperately need a change in government. Big time. Yes, Jamel, it would be great if we look out for our neighbors and kids. I talk to my grandchildren's friends when I'm around them. Okay, thank you. And sorry, you had something, correct?
Yeah, I really like this one. Kiara Brene BDA says, take self-responsibility, self-control, proper diet, and connecting back to the thing that provides balance, calm, natural sense, and sustenance, which is nature. Each individual will make the change. And I think that's really important because, like, I can't remember which American president said it, but ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. JFK. Oh,
yeah,
icon. But I think that one gives you more agency, but also helps you realize that, like, okay, yes, things are bad, but there are also people who are parallel to you doing the work, and it also helps you connect with those people. So yeah, take your power back and think about what you can do. Baby steps, of course, but then you progress to measured steps, and then you make strides. So think about what you can do.
We are the government. We are the people, you know?
And we're the media, apparently.
Yeah, according to Elon. But yes or no, audience, are you optimistic about Bermuda being your version of successful in 2025? Yes or no? That's a yes or no question. Are you optimistic about Bermuda being your version of successful in 2025? Yes or no? Yes or no? Teray, are you optimistic of Bermuda being your version of successful?
It depends, Jamel. I don't know if I can give a straight answer for that. It really just depends. The election was just called, and I think my version of Bermuda being successful means that young people have a place, women have a place, and there's no like scarcity mindset around rights. So I don't know, to be determined.
Okay.
What about for you?
My version of successful in 2025, I think 2025 came too soon. I say that because I'm a person, we spent 13 years for conscription to end. Things that I'd like to see probably will take a longer time. To be more specific, my optimism for Bermuda, I can't see education improving within the next 12 months. I don't see the healthcare situation improving over the next 12 months. I don't see tourism improving over the next 12 months. My version of success for Bermuda would include those three things. I don't see Bermudians who have moved away moving back in the next 12 months. I don't see Bermudians who are in Bermuda not leaving Bermuda over the next 12 months. My version of successful would be addressing all of those. I just don't see it. Yeah. So I'm probably not optimistic about Bermuda being my version of successful in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the honesty, definitely. Michelle White says, we can be accountable to ourselves, be honest with self when expecting from others, looking for work when your work ethic needs work. Ooh, I think we touched on that before, Jamal, about how like there's this sense of entitlement around job opportunities. And I really do agree with Michelle White. Yeah, Charles H. Jeffers II says, pink on Wednesdays is cool. Charles, you're trying so hard. I've already forgiven you. You are forgiven. I just need time to get back to our original groove. But you're right.
He's a hater.
No comment. Haters. Suzanne Ingham says, depends on the election. This far, no.
I mean, she's honest. I appreciate Suzanne saying that. Her optimism depends on what happens next month. And that's fair. That's fair because let's say it's a change of government. Your expectations may change, right? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Renee Simmons says, no, not the rate it's going, but ... surprise me. I love that. She's leaving room for optimism. You know, she's welcoming it. I love that.
I can appreciate that.
Shamori Sky says, if we can get the corporate income tax and international business stays, I would take that as a success.
Okay, fair enough. Audience, you guys have been great. Do us a favor. Do us a big favor right now, if you don't mind. Do us a big favor. If you haven't already, whatever platform you're on, give us a like, a love, a follow. Make sure you share the conversation. Seriously, it's really cost you nothing. Share this conversation. Like it. Love it. Whatever platform you're on, repost it or retweet it, whatever you do. Help us get these conversations. We talked about something today where we were asking, what can we do? We, each and every one of us, accountability. Yep. What can we do to improve Bermuda in 2025?
And you're a great example of that, Jamal. You just took accountability for something that you said yesterday, and you were like, oh, I'm going to course correct because I either didn't say it in the way that I meant to, or was it interpreted in the way that I meant to be interpreted it. So you guys have like a great example of what accountability looks like, because Jamal just took accountability for something he said yesterday, today.
Good point. And I think accountability is important. I think that's the expectation people have of their leaders. They want to see accountability. Charles Jefferson, H. Jefferson II, he says, I'm optimistic that on February 19th, we will begin the process of modernizing our system of government. Oh, that's some serious optimism. We're going to take our final break. We're going to come back. We've got the daily play. We're going to have to not do a giveaway today, but we'll put someone in the draw for next week because we've only got a couple people this week, short week. But stick with us. We'll be back in about, how long are we going to be back? 1 minute, 48 seconds. Is that? I'm trying to find the commercial, folks. Oh, 1 minute, 45 seconds. Stick with us.
When it comes to footwear, we carry functional, comfortable, orthopedic, and waterproof shoes. We have construction shoes, golf shoes, shoes for walking, shoes for boating. We even have shoes for pickleball. We have shoes for everyone. With brands by Skechers, Atrax, Propay, Easy Street, Nursemates, Clogs, Avenger, Cherokee, Cat, Frog Talk, and DeWalt. The list goes on.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Live exceptionally with HSBC MasterCard Pay with Rewards. Transform your points into what you love and get closer to winning an unforgettable trip to Dubai or one of 3 luxury experiences in Bermuda. To start following these steps, download the Pay and Rewards app from the App Store or Google Play. Register your HSBC MasterCard credit card in the app. Set your preferences to use points automatically or for your next purchase. Use your HSBC MasterCard for every purchase and redeem your points into rewards. In addition, for every $300 spent with your HSBC MasterCard, earn a chance to win an incredible monthly experience. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Bermuda Trivia, the Black History Edition, is now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Visit bermudatrivia.com or email contact@bermudatrivia.com to learn more.
All right, welcome back to The Big Show. She's Teray Tull. I'm Jamal Hartman. Thank you so much for all of you tuning into this Friday Fun Day, brought to you by our friends at Mailboxes. Everyday Conversations brought to you by our partners at BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lenders, and People's Pharmacy. Thank you so much to them for supporting these conversations, these community conversations, the only place where you actually are able to engage in a pretty much talk-only dedicated space. We are the only dedicated talk show Bermuda has. No music, just straight conversations. I am very proud of that. And it's because of you, the audience, that we're able to engage in the manner that we do in hopes that we can create the Bermuda that we all want to see. Cherie Dill, just real quickly before we get to the daily play and all, she says, still optimistic for Bermuda's long-term future, but it won't all happen in 2025. Optimistic and hopeful that that things will start to shift in the right direction in 2025. Appreciate you. And Michael Daniels said, it disturbs me when I put a positive spin on the possibility of the man in the street. People laugh at me. Interesting. All right. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Terrain audience, are you ready? Oh, what's that face? My goodness. She's like, that was like this stare of death. She.
Really? Yeah,
my
I'm ready.
Goodness. Okay, my goodness, Teray, what did I do to you? All right, here we go. This is a thing something tells me Teray's gonna get this.
Listen, you say that, and then you set me up. Whenever you say I'm gonna get it, you get on my head. So just ask the question.
Man, just grumpy. All right, here we go, tall lady. What ingredient do people with celiac disease have to avoid in their diet?
Oh my gosh, I know this. I have a celiac friend. Is it gluten? Okay, yeah, period.
She got it, folks. She got it. I told you she'll get it.
Period.
Set me up, whatever. Charles said flour.
I don't know about I don't know, maybe. Is it right? I think it's...
I don't know, but I mean, the answer on this, things you should know game, gluten, but Karen has got it. Renee Simmons said gluten, and so it probably is, and flour. I don't know.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's chat GPT or Google that. But yeah, the answer on the game was gluten. What'd you get? You got anything?
Yeah, hang on, let's see.
Okay. Yeah, well, we're checking this out, folks. We can't be sharing like bad information for you. You know, we can't be doing that. But that we just read from the game. You know, this is not me making it up. But it says what ingredient?
It says people with celiac disease must avoid foods that contain gluten, a protein found in wheat, rye, and barley.
Okay, all right. Thank you. See, that was easy. Charles, flour wasn't there, bro. Knock him dead, boy. Woo! Woo! I'm sorry, Charles. I just had to. I had to. But she was thinking wheat. Such Renee Simmons, she was thinking wheat. All right, let's wrap it up. T, final thoughts for today. Obviously, just talking about things we can do to improve Bermuda in 2025. Your final words to the audience of the weekend.
I mean, I really appreciated the conversation. I feel like similar to yesterday, it was like a light and a much needed conversation after the heavy week. So yeah, I'm optimistic per usual. I just feel like the TDH community is very special, very, very special, and it always restores my hope. So looking forward to 2025. And I hope that all of the conversations and issues that we brought up now will continue to be brought up after the election, during the election, because they really need to be. So yeah, I feel good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm thankful, I should say. I just want to say, MP Emily Gildill says, thank you for the clarification. You would be pleasantly surprised if you got to know most of our elected officials. You would find persons very committed to the uplift of our community. Thank you for all you do to accomplish the same. No, appreciate you and thank you. And I want to clarify why I said that. So I don't say things just because of what I read in the media. Those of you who have watched this show or know me know that I was very much involved in the PLP at one point in my younger 20s. My words are usually based on my experiences. My experiences with many of the politicians back then, some of which still exist in the PLP, that's what I'm speaking of. But I am going to be very careful in my words going forward, because how I feel about some is not representative of all. And I think that's one thing that we in the media have to ensure that we are responsible with our words when having these conversations. So appreciate you, MP Dill. And I want to say this about today's show. I'm grateful to have you as a co-host. I'm grateful to have everyone who's a part of this show. But I think you offer something so very different. And when you shared the things that you're looking forward to for an optimistic Bermuda, like what it balances the conversation. Because when I was your age, those were the things I said. Literally, I was right things, and now like you feel me. And it's not to say I don't agree with you or you don't agree with the things I said. It's just that the priorities, one may have taken over the other. And so I appreciate that all of the co-hosts and the host on this show have very different perspectives, respectfully. It's one of those things that we can learn as a community. Just one thing is a priority for one of us doesn't mean that we can't support what's a priority for another.
Exactly.
I think that's what we should take away. But also, I'm optimistic after this conversation because I believe in the people who are part of the TDH community to make a difference in ways that will improve Bermuda and the lives of Bermudians. Teray, do you have daily inspiration for us?
I do. This one is about like individual agency, and it's an unattributed quote. But it says, if you don't spend time getting to know yourself, you'll end up absorbing everyone else's random and conflicting ideas about you. Knowing who you are on a very deep and intimate level is the best way to protect yourself from internalizing disempowering opinions from others.
I like that. Stop worrying about others.
Be peculiar on this peculiar people day.
There you go. And who cares if she dissed me?
Who's she? Oh, your date from college?
Yeah, according to Teo. But folks, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve the community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. She's Teray Tull. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great weekend. We are is out.